Okay, yes, I've created a table for it. Okay, so now you're seeing that we're going to have three entities set. So that means we are going to have three relations, okay, which are for the doctor, patient, and appointments. Okay, so let's see how those people normally do their own. Okay, let's scroll down. After they create the entity send, here are the relations. These are for the attributes, and here are the types, like unique identifier, single value attributes, multiple value attributes. Okay, that's that's good. So let's create the table for this refers, but I'm going to add one table here for description because we're supposed to add. So I'm creating five headers, then this one, let me count it. The first table we're doing is for the doctor, so if I'm to count it, so we have one unique identifier, doctor name, doctor phone, specialty number, and specialty. So that's five. So it's five. So I said the headers are going to be five. Okay, so that means I'm adding one here. That is in this headers here. I'm going to add one with description, and right now the attributes, which are all these ones, are also five. Okay, let me just do that real fast. Okay, I've created a table for the doctor relations. So in case some of you are wondering how to create a table, you see insert here. Okay, so you can just select the header how you want it, and you when you are done, you just press enter, or you left click. If you're wondering how I adjust the table, when you come close like this, you see an arrow. So when you hold it, you can drag. You see what I'm doing? Adjusting it. So that's how. If you want to make the word to be in the center, in case you don't know, when you select it or highlight it, you just come here and you align it to the center. Okay, so let's continue. So like I said, these are five headers, which is going to come for the attribute, type, domain, options, and description. Okay, so as we're saying, let me see. Okay, as we're saying, this is how they did it. Attribute, type, name, and domain and option. Sorry. So our first attribute name is going to be a unique identifier for each doctor. Okay, for each doctor, we need identifier for each doctor. Okay, so let me just do that. Okay, here is it, doctor ID. Now doctor ID will be type of unique identifier, because the type is going to be a unique identifier. It's a doctor ID because you see it's a doctor ID, so it's going to be a unique identifier. It's going to be numeric. Okay, so it's going to be a number. You can write number there. No, it's not optional. You cannot say it should be null. The value should always be there. Okay, now if we're going to write a description for it, now doctor ID is going to be a primary key. Okay, it's going to be a primary key. Of course, it's going to be a primary key because um it's a unique identifier, and plus it's what we're going to use later as a foreign key. Okay, so you're seeing a unique identifier for each doctor, and it's still a primary key. Now, the doctor ID will be a foreign key in the patient relation and appointment relation. Okay, so in the future we're going to still use this doctor ID in the patient relation and in the appointment relation. That's when we have created the two table. This table now we created is for the doctor relation. Okay, so when you hear about relation, I'm talking about tables. Okay, so now what is coming next? Let me see. Sorry, what's coming next? Doctor. Okay, doctor name. Doctor name will be next. Okay, doctor name. Okay, constitutes attributes. Okay, it's going to be a text. It's going to be a text.
There is no mistakes anywhere.
Then it's going to be no. Obviously no. No. Because we want all the attributes to be available. We don't want them to be null. Now each doctor must have a name. Okay, so every doctor have a name, so it can't be null. So each doctor must have a name. What is coming next? Sorry, why I was coming here. Okay, the doctor phone number. Okay, this will just be the phone. That's referring to the phone number. Okay, phone number is going to be a single value attribute, and it's going to still be a text. This could be a number. Okay, this phone number you could still write here multiple value attitude. It could still be a text. Okay, it could still be a text. It could still be a multiple value attitude. Whichever you it could still be a number. That is numeric. You can still put numeric here, and you can still put a multiple value attitude, which is your choice. You use what right now I'm using single value attitude and text, but bear in mind that when it comes to this number you could use multiple value attitude, and you could for the domain you could use numeric. Okay, so now each doctor must have a phone. That is a phone number. So each doctor must have of course what kind of doctor doesn't have a phone number? So that's why the option now is going to be no. We don't want it to be null. Okay, we don't want it to be null. We want the values to be there. So what's going to be the next one? The next one is the specialty number.
I just want to go out there and hustle, make that money.
Okay, on specialty.
Once I come
Okay.
back, see.
Okay, the specialty number is going to be a single value attitude, single value attitude, and this can still be a multiple value. Okay, whatever you choose, it's still going to be a test, and this can still be a number. Okay, it could still be a number, but this identifier and this domain, what they call it, doctor ID, and this one here, this is obviously going to be a number, not a text. Okay, and it's going to be a unique identifier. Okay, so now in this one, this could be a multiple value attitude attribute, and this can still be numeric. Okay, with a text can still okay to use the text. No. Okay, no. So we don't want it to be what do you call it? We don't want it to be null. We want the value to be there. That's why the option is no. So this option is just asking you In case you don't know it's optional, I'm going to still explain it. Optional mean that do you want it to be null or non-null? That means do you want the value to be there or not there? So it's asking on optional. So we say no, it's not optional. So it's must. Must. We want each doctor. You must have your specialty number. Okay. So doctor must have a specialty number. So doctor specialty. Okay. This is still okay. Checks. No. Yes. So we are done with this table. We are done with the table. The next relation we're creating is for the patients. Okay, the patients. That's the next relation we're created for the patients. Okay, so that's it for this relation. Let me just make that table and come back to the video. Okay, I've created the table for the patient. Okay, so let's see the first one for patients. For the patient, the first one is going to be a unique identifier. Here's it. Unique identifier. That is patient ID. The type is going to be a unique identifier. The domain is going to be numeric. Yes, it's not optional. Now, it's a primary key and a unique identifier for each patient. That's the description I'm saying. Now, the patient ID will be a foreign key in the appointment relation. Okay, so what we're having next, I think, is the patient name. That will be it. Patient name. The patient name, yeah, I think so, yeah. Patient name, patient phone number. Okay, patient name, yeah, obviously. Text, yes, text. It's going to be a text. The domain is going to be a text. Okay, then it's not optional. Then each doctor must have a name. Okay, then the next one is the patient phone number. Okay, a single value attitude. Okay, text, yes. We said yes, it should be optional. Okay, yes, it should be optional. Now, each doctor must have a phone number. Okay, a phone number. I think this should be no. That's what I'm saying, but it's fine, sure, whether it's yes or no, because they didn't actually tell us what attribute. It depends on your client. It depends on your client, but so these are actually our choice. But there are some things that you need to do well, like when it comes to the primary key, okay, and the candidate key. Okay, so just know that some of you should just put multiple value attitude here, multiple valid attributes. Put what do you call it here, numeric, and yeah, should be no. It just depends on you, but doesn't mean anything because they didn't ask us. So just to create relations, put our okay, it's fine. Now, email, patient email, unique identifier. Yes, you can still put multiple valued attribute, but I choose to say it's going to be a unique identifier because emails, you can't have the same email, okay? It's hard. There is no way that me and you are having the same email. There is something different from it, but the email name could be the same, but something must be different. Either it's going to be a dot separated in a full stop, or it's going to be a number. Maybe my name is I'm Joy John. Yours is going to be Joy John 2 at 3. So email are nowadays the unique identifier, because me and you cannot have the same email, okay? But still it still depends on your client, because if you're still going to use it, okay, it's going to be a text. Yes, no, it's not optional, okay? Now, unique identifier for each patient email, and each patient must have an email, okay? So this could be yes, because if we can call the patient, because it's not everyone that wants you to call him, so okay, but you can still put no here. So since the email is not optional, you can email the patient, okay? So patient address, okay, text, no optional, yes. So yes, then let's go down. What will come next? Okay, I think it was yes, date, the date, let me just confirm that. Patient mail, patient address, yes, date, then allergies, and I think is what again? Okay, doctor identifier. Okay, it's going to be a text, obviously. No, yes, each patient must have a check in date confirm. Now the allergies is going to be yeah, it's okay, text. Yes, it's optional. Option 9 for the weather patient, okay? So maybe the weather, I don't know, I'm not a doctor person, but I don't know, maybe if the weather is good, it shouldn't have allergies or stuff, okay? Because it's all, everything in the table where it comes to the descriptions, and it just have to be on like these allergies. Maybe your client is going to tell you how it should be, but in this aspect here, you should just put no, but yes, it's still fine, okay? It's fine, it's okay. And then doctor ID, unique identifier, then numeric, no, okay? No, this must be, okay? This one is must you must have the doctor ID, okay? Now see, each patient is assigned a doctor, okay? So is a foreign key from the doctor relation, okay? So remember when, so this is a foreign key from the doctor relations. So remember when I created doctor relation, and I said here this is a primary key in this relation, in the doctor relation is a primary key, and it's a unique identifier, and it's still going to be a foreign key in the patient relation and the appointment relation. So that's what's happening here, okay? So we're seeing it here now, it is a foreign key, okay? It is a foreign key in this relation. So we're done with this table. We're done with this table. I think we should do, okay, remain one table, which is the appointment, okay, the appointment relation, okay? So let me just do that real fast. Okay, I've created the appointment relation. Okay, so let's see what we're supposed to do. Appointment. First of all, we need a unique identifier. Of course, unique identifier for the patient. Okay, unique identifier. Okay, that's an appointment ID. Yes, its type is unique identifier, numeric, no. Okay, no. Now, a primary key for appointment. That means it's a primary key. The appointment ID is going to be a primary key, unique identifier for um for for appointment relation. Okay, so it's a unique identifier for appointment relation. The next is the appointment date. I think, where is it? Appointment date, doctor and patient identifier. Okay, yeah, this is the appointment date. Okay, text. No, it's not optional. It should be there. Yes, you should have a date, of course. Now, patient ID. Okay, unique identifier, numeric, no. Yes, each patient must have. Each patient must have a. Sorry, this is okay. Each appointment must have a patient for key from patient relation. Okay, so you remember in the patient relation we specify the patient relation when we have the patient ID. The patient ID is a primary key that is in the patient relation, unique identifier. The patient ID will be a foreign key in the appointment relation. So here is it. That's why we are having it here. So now a foreign key from the patient relation. Okay, now the doctor ID, unique identifier, numeric, no. So now each appointment must assign the doctor. Okay, so we are going to have a doctor. Now a foreign key from the doctor relation. So if you remember, yes, the doctor relation is going to be a foreign key for two relations, which are the patient, which it comes here. For the patient, it comes here, and for the appointment relation. Okay, which is here too. Okay, so now these are very necessary. These ones here, they are very necessary, especially the ID. Now we're having this blood, sorry, call it blood pressure. So the blood pressure, yes, text no. Yes, you should have a blood pressure. Now, okay, text no. Yes, yes. Temperature, what do you call it again? What's happening? Okay, single attribute. So text no. Doctor must have yes. Medicine. Okay, text no. For each patient, I think this is okay, but it's very okay. Yeah, it's very okay. Huh? Bath. Okay, so this will be for the two relations. We are done for the two relations. Okay, So please do not, in this description, please do not copy for word, okay? Just add something, maybe when you're putting your types, like those ones are specified that they can be still numeric and they can still be text. Some people should use text, some people should use numeric. In the description, please do not copy for word, okay? So that you don't get pressurized. Now let's see what I will do everything as it should be. Let me just come in. Okay, let me just play this again and see if we do everything right.
Assume that you are working with a hospital and this hospital needs a software system to track its patients' information. Your role in this software development is to design the database. There are many aspects of such a hospital software system to develop. However, in this assignment, you will only address interactions between doctors and patients. Your first step will be to create the relations necessary for this system and identify and describe the constraints that would be appropriate for the relations. Currently, hospital representatives describe three entities: doctor, patient, and appointment. Doctor will need information such as a unique identifier for each doctor, doctor name, doctor phone, specialty number, and specialty. Patient will need information such as a unique identifier for each patient, patient name, patient phone, patient email, patient address, date added to the system, allergies, and doctor identifier. Each patient is treated through appointments. Hence, there should be an appointment relation. The appointment will need information such as a unique identifier, appointment date, doctor, and patient identifiers. During the appointment, treatment information such as blood pressure, pulse, treatment notes of the doctor, and medicines should also be included in the appointment relation. Be sure to identify what are the candidate, primary keys, and the degree of each relation. It would be recommended that you document your relations in the manner used in the Library Management System case study in Chapter 3.3 of Sharma et al. After determining the relations, identify and describe the constraints that would be appropriate for the relations that we have within our hospital software system.
Okay, so we're asked to do primary key, cadet key. Okay, I'm coming. Let me see what. Okay, so we still have some to do. Okay, let me copy from here. So see what we're supposed to do.
Constraints that you should consider may include entity integrity constraint, referential integrity constraint, semantic integrity constraint, domain constraint, null constraint, unique constraint. The constraints in bold type should all be present in your assignment. Assignment instructions. One assignment should include the relations required for the hospital software system as follows: doctor, patient, appointment. 2. Each relation must have identifiers and its data types. 3. The degree of each relation must be described. 4. Each relation must include appropriate information other than identifiers such as attributes and the data type of attributes. 5. The doctor relation should include at least a unique identifier for each doctor, doctor name, doctor phone, specialty number, and specialty. 6. The patient relation should include at least a unique identifier, patient name, patient phone, patient email, patient address, patient added date, allergies, and doctor identifier. 7. The appointment relation should include at least a unique identifier, appointment date, doctor, and patient identifiers, blood pressure, pulse, treatment notes of doctor and medicines. 8. Identify and describe the constraints for each attribute.
Okay. Let's just make a constraint. I think I'm going to arrange it, then I'll paste it, then we'll talk about. Okay. Yes. So I've put some of the description constraints. So we'll be seeing. Okay, I think this is. So there'll be a space here. Then I think a must be refer. A foreign key must be referred to. Yes, it seems not refer because it's not. Okay. So now the first one is this domain constraint. Okay. The domain constraint. The domain constraint is they are data type. Okay. Just for example, so text and number. Okay, so these are the domain constraints where you see we put text, number, okay, stuff like that. Okay. Now, entity integrity constraint. Primary key value must not be null. Okay. So now, it's saying that this is the primary key. Okay. So the rule is that this should never be yes. It should not be optional. Okay. So you should never say that it's not must that you must. The doctor must have a unique identifier, that is the parent key, which is the doctor ID. So it should be always there. Okay. Because if you check here, when it comes to the key constraint, our primary key is the doctor ID. Okay. That's the doctor ID. Okay. It says I'm coming. Okay, so so primary key cannot be null. Okay, so this is referential integrity constraint. Okay, so referencing now, this doctor relation is going to be a referencing. Okay, referencing relation, because it's going to be referencing. Okay, and now the doctor the foreign key is the doctor ID, because since it's going to be referencing, so that means in the future there is going to be a foreign key which is the doctor ID. Now they talk about this and satanic integrity constraint. A foreign key must refer to a primary key in a relation. Okay, in relation, should be in a relation, no anyhow, it should be in a relation. So now what is he saying? He's saying a foreign key must refer, like now we are having, if we go to the patient relation, so you see this doctor ID now in the patient relation is a foreign key. So they're saying this doctor relation here, which is a foreign key, it must be a primary key. It's in his own relation. So the doctor ID, if we are going to, because this doctor ID is from the doctor relation, so the doctor ID must be a primary key. Okay, so right now the doctor ID, so you see the primary key, so it's saying a foreign key must refer to a primary key in a relation. Okay, so that means it's saying that it should be a primary key somewhere. Okay, if it's a foreign key. Now key constraint, the candidate key are unique identifier, so doctor is a candidate key. Now name, the name should not be a candidate key to me, but because I see places that people are having the same name, because most people that are having two names. Okay, because when you search on Facebook, on even my name, search my name on Facebook, you'll see the people using it, so it can't be a unique identifier. The doctor phone number yes, it could be a unique identifier, but I choose not to. I just make it so. Okay, it could be, but I choose not to. Even this, I think it could be, I choose not to. So because we're having only one unique identifier here, so that means our candidate key is the doctor ID. Okay, now the primary key is still the doctor ID. Now null constraint, the null value are optional to yes or no, so I'm telling you that this optional is referring to the null constraint. So when you see null, when you see no, it means it cannot be null. When you see yes, it means that yes, it could be null and it could not be null. Okay, that means it's optional. Okay, that means you can choose to put, you can choose that a value can be there, a value cannot be there. Now unique constraint, still the doctor ID. Now degree of relation. So degree of relation, you are counting the attribute, you are not counting with the header. So 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we're having 5 degree. Okay, now let's come to the patient. We already know this. So the patient is referred and referring. Okay, so now the foreign key for the patient are two foreign keys. Okay, so now this one is going to be a foreign key in the future. Okay, then this one is already a foreign key. Okay, because this is coming from the doctor relation. Okay, so we're having two foreign keys. Okay. So referring and referred. Okay, now it's referring and referred. Then this one. Then what about the candidate key? The candidate key are unique identifier. So the patient ID is unique identifier, the patient image unique identifier, and the doctor ID. So that's why they are candidate keys. And the primary key is the patient ID. Now this candidate key and this, they are candidate keys. And now what again? Unique constraint. Okay, unique constraint are still them. Okay, which are the ID, email, doctor. Okay, the email is not supposed to be two. Why am I putting the email 2 times? Okay, I should just delete one. Now if we are going to this, okay, the foreign key are two, which are the patient ID and the doctor ID. Then the candidate keys are patient ID, appointment ID, and doctor ID. And the primary key is the appointment ID. Null. Okay, we're having 8. Okay, so if you count it's 8. 1 2 3. Okay, I've already counted this one. 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so I think we are done. Please do not copy word for word, I beg you. Do not copy word for word, because you're not the only one watching the video, so try not to get pressurized. Okay, maybe your table should start from the left side, maybe your table should be smaller, or maybe okay, do not copy word for word. So I think this will be it for this assignment. Thank you. Please like and subscribe, and please, if you have a comment or you have a question, leave it in the comment section. Thank you.